Anushka, let's imagine Nigel Farage makes it into Downing Street and is Prime Minister. In reality, at that point, what kind of Prime Minister would he be like? What kind of government would they be? And what kind of policies would they be implementing?
Well, he'd probably be a Prime Minister like we've not had before. He's obviously quite a different character. I suppose the closest character we've had to him was Boris Johnson, who I'm sure we'll talk about as well. Again, going on what they have set out in manifesto terms so far, I think the big areas that they obviously care about most are, number one, immigration. So they would, want to leave the European Convention on Human Rights. They would want to have a much kind of stricter closed border system. They'd want to see the numbers come dramatically down. They would roll back on some of the promises we've made on net zero. They would try to reduce the cost on consumers of that net zero agenda. Now, the bit on their manifesto that I could never really square, and I guess they have to try and sort this out before the next election, is they were promising literally tens of billions of pounds of tax cuts, and it wasn't properly clear to me where that money was coming from. They said they were going to cut government waste, and obviously we hear that, for example, let's get rid of, diversity and equality schemes. But just to give you, examples in councils, the amount we spend on things like that can't even come close to fixing the problem when it comes to adult social care. I should say that Nigel Farage obviously took over as leader halfway through that election campaign, and I have spoken to him about it since, and I think he is very aware that those policies didn't really stand up to scrutiny, and he's also very aware that the vetting of candidates has to be much better so that he has the opportunity of having a strong front bench on the team. Can I just say, though, that I'm not saying that he won't be Prime Minister. I think there's every chance he can be Prime Minister, but I don't think last week's results tell us that he's going to be Prime Minister. I think that still the translation from where he is into a place where you can win in a first-past-the-post system is quite hard, but he has shown that reform have hit a tipping point that a third party has never done before.